All right, so let's play around a little bit with jQuery, and so let's create here under lectures. Let's create here a directory jQuery where we can do some experiments. Right? So let's create our first experiment, and maybe we'll call it Hello World. Right? Our very first Hello jQuery example. Right. So right, we can have our own little script where we can just say alert hello. Right, and let's run this. Let's run this. Let's see. Localhost, and we can navigate to the lectures. Where are they? Lectures. There we go. Lectures, undergrad, jQuery, hello. There it is. So it's running, right? And notice that the very first thing that it calls that alert in alert box. Okay, and the way you invoke scripts, right, is by using the script tag, and whatever is declared in a script tag, or if it's a script that I invoke with a source attribute, it immediately executes. Right. So if I reload the page, notice that that's the very first thing that happens, and that's what I meant earlier, right? When a script is loaded or when it's interpreted, it's executed immediately. Yes. All right. So let's load a couple other things here. Let's load the jQuery library script, and let's load it. Let's see, where is it? Do we install it somewhere here? Do we create a vendor and put it in there? Okay, we never put anything in there, right? So let's put jQuery here as well. Let's go and let's grab it from here. jQuery, where are you? Okay, and distribution, and let me grab, I guess, just this one. These two. And I'm going to paste it in vendor. I'll create a directory here as jQuery. And paste it in there. All right. You'll often see this map file, right? That's because the minified version, if you open it up, it's unreadable, right? There's no way that you can read this source code. What map allows you to do is that it allows you to kind of like unwrap, right, the original file, right, so that you can perhaps put like a breakpoint. Like you can't put a breakpoint on this, right, because it's one long line. See that? It's just one line. See that? One long line of that. It's completely unreadable. So what the map allows you to do is to unwrap it, right, and so that you can look at what the original file was, and you could actually put breakpoints and step through what the original code would have looked like. Okay, so you don't actually need the and this is only useful for developers, right? That you can provide a map and still actually use the minified version. Anyway, so let's go back to the hello, and let's load our jQuery. Let's see, where are we? jQuery? No, let's go up one further. One further. One further. Up too far. Do we have vendor here? We have vendor. Do we have jQuery? Yes, we have jQuery, and we have jQuery min. There we go. All right, so we loaded the jQuery library, right? So from within here, what jQuery does is that it declares a very powerful function, right? The jQuery function. It declares the jQuery function in the global space. Something that I've told you not to do. But again, once you have such clout as jQuery or Angular, folks actually like it, right? That's it's so easy to just start using it, right? So this is a function. This is a function that it's very, very powerful, and depending on what you pass it, it behaves in different ways, right? One of the ways, you can pass different things here. You can pass a string, you can pass an object, you can pass a function, and depending on what you pass it, it behaves in different ways. One of the things that we can do here, and you'll see this quite often in documentation is that you can pass it a function. And this would be an anonymous function, right? It's a function that it's kind of like a throwaway function, one-use function. And what this function allows you to do is allows you to initialize a jQuery, right? It allows you to do things once everything else has loaded, right? You can say hello from here, alert, hello from jQuery. And so if we refresh, we have hello from jQuery. Okay, and so you can start coding here. Now I find this syntax disturbing, right? I find it hard to read. So I like to create an actual function, right, and give it a name, whatever name you like. An init function is a common name, and then provide that as an argument to the jQuery function like that, right? And this behaves exactly the same way. Everybody okay? All right. Now, one of the most powerful things that jQuery can do is that it can, like the name suggests, query. The name suggests query comes from being able to retrieve something, right? Now, queries from SQL or from databases, you provided like a selector, right? You say select something from something or other, right? And typically that is mapped to some tables and whatnot. Here, what we are querying is the document object model. The document object model is some hierarchical XML document, right? Of which we would like to be able to retrieve things in this document. We would like to retrieve them so that we can manipulate them and maybe put them back, right? Just like a database retrieves things from different tables, joins them, manipulates something, and then puts it back in the database, right? So jQuery wants to be able to do that. So right now, our document model doesn't have anything, right? It has this body element over here, right? So actually, this is the init. So what jQuery allows you to do is to use the jQuery function to do other things, such as refer to elements on the DOM. Right now, the only element on the DOM is the body. And it's empty. There's nothing in there, right? We could retrieve it. We could retrieve the body, right? And you could then do certain things to it. For instance, you could say that it's empty. Let's put something in there, right? And what you do is use different functions to be able to manipulate what you just grabbed. Right? We grab the body. We want to append something to it, right? And I'd like to append maybe a hello from jQuery. Right, so if we refresh, notice that indeed we have hello from jQuery. Notice that it's not an alert box, right? Instead, right, we have manipulated the actual DOM, right? If we go in there and we look at the if we look at the source code, right? Notice that there's nothing in there. The body is empty. That's what the server gave us, right? It was an empty body. But if you inspect and see what the browser sees body and an actual content in there. So from the document object's point of view, right, we do have the content in there. From the server's point of view, it was static. There was nothing in there. Right? We're making it dynamic on the browser side. Make sense? All right? And this mechanism of being able to grab something from the DOM and dynamically inject content in there, right, is the entire basis of Angular and all these MVC model view controller libraries, right? They all behave the same way. They grab the DOM, they grab the DOM, and then dynamically update and manipulate it to give you a dynamic interaction. Okay. All right. Let's leave it here. Yes.
So do you use jQuery and Angular on the same page, and they're both manipulated with the DOM? Won't that like?
Yep. We'll deal with that. They don't play nice with one another. Yep. We'll talk about that.